This is Duke University.
Welcome everyone to the 2009 Duke Startup Challenge Finals event. Thank you for being here. My name is Sean Knowles. You've probably seen me around today. I'm one of the co-chairs of this year's Duke Startup Challenge, along with the committee of student volunteers who organize this and make it possible. We have had a great year, and it's been a lot of fun. I want to start by giving you just a little bit of background on the process that has brought us to this point through the year of the Duke Startup Challenge. So in the fall, and you students may remember, there were hundreds of student attendees at the Duke Entrepreneurship Education Series events. And from those hundreds of attendees, there were 70 teams that registered for the elevator pitch competition in November. And of those 70 registrants, 55 of them actually showed up. So we had 55 elevator pitches in November as a part of Entrepreneurship Week. We delivered a prize to Trace Aid in front of a packed house, and it was a lot of fun. From those 55 pitches, we received 36 business plans that were sort of a full concept business plan that were submitted to us in February. And of those 36 business plans, we got 12 finalists. Of those 12 finalists who are all here today, we are here, of course, to select one big $25,000 winner. So can we just start with a round of applause for the finalists who have put all the work in this far? So just to give you just a little understanding how our award ceremony will work today, what we'll do is all the teams, I'll call a track, all the teams for that track will come to the front amid generous applause from the audience. Each team will be called upon in turn to deliver a 2-minute pitch. At the conclusion of that 2 minutes, which I will chart on my trusty Iron Man watch here, the crowd will receive a subtle signal to stop the 2-minute pitch. And after all teams have pitched, we'll announce the track winner. Again, a round of applause, and the teams will be seated. This can be a little bit difficult in the abstract, so we'll walk through a quick example. So I'll call example track. There will be a generous applause. Then I'll call example team after the teams have come up. The team will then, of course, have 2 minutes, and then you'll get the subtle signal, and you will say, "Stop." Excellent, fine work. And then we will announce the winner of that track with fancy PowerPoint technology. That said, are there any questions about how this process will work? I think it's self-explanatory, or in fact has been explained by me. Without further ado then, why don't we proceed to the consumer products and services track? All three teams, please come up. So one thing I failed to mention to the teams, you guys can, we have a handheld mic. If you prefer that, you can come to the lectern however your designee would like to do it. Our first consumer products and services pitcher will be Ento Genetics. Let me get set here. Just here you go.
Hello.
You're on.
Ento Genetics has solved a puzzle that's been at the center of fabric science for more than 20 years. The ability to create true spider silk in a scalable form. Ento Genetics has discovered how to transfer a spider's production gene into the common silkworm, thereby creating a means for large-scale, inexpensive production of spider silk and creating multiple new market opportunities based on the application of this fabric, which is light, incredibly elastic, and tougher than Kevlar. We're dedicated to solving challenging problems by supplying superior fabrics for products such as bulletproof vests, which using spider silk can provide protection at half the weight and twice the mobility, saving lives and reducing fatigue. Our plan is to cultivate spiders, or actually cultivate silkworms rather, and to manufacture processed spider silk. This processed spider silk will be sold to weavers and makers of a variety of types of textiles, including ballistic fibers, a market estimated to be worth $400 million in the U.S. currently. We anticipate 5-year revenues of $75 million based on a 15% penetration into this market, and are working with partners in ballistic vest manufacturing to potentially co-develop this based on additional field testing. We have a unique gene and method of gene insertion for which patents have been filed, and we're looking for $900,000 to expand technical development and produce pilot quantities of this fabric. We have an amazing team, a strong team, with our inventor, Dr. David Brigham, who is a PhD in entomology and has more than 2 decades worth of experience in biotechnology, and a team of graduate students with a variety of different skills and experiences. There are 2 major competitors, DuPont's Kevlar and Honeywell's Spectra, and we outperform each of those on a variety of different factors without harmful chemical byproducts during the manufacturing process. Experts have told us they're looking for the next great technology. We're that technology.
All right, our next pitching team will be Growthtree.
Hello. Start?
You're on.
Cool. Good afternoon, everybody. Growthtree is a website that allows individuals to go in and define their goals in various perspectives in life. So by perspectives, I mean health, career, family, etc. Once you define your goals, then the website takes you through a process of breaking those goals up into sub-goals and then operational tasks. So the idea is, if I want to be there tomorrow, what it is that I must do today, and then how do I get there? So sort of creating that path. It's my partner in business is Alexis. She's a double piece, completing a second PhD in psychology at the moment. It's a very strong psychological background. The second piece to the solution is metrics. So there's facility in the website to assign metrics to these goals and sub-goals and tasks. The idea is to be able to create a real-time scorecard. So when I go into this website, not only do I have the peace of mind that I've sort of defined my life there, goals in various perspectives, it will also help me track, monitor progress against each of those objectives. So I might see family, career, health, and so most of them are green, but family is red. So I click on it. It's a drill-down scorecard. It brings down sub-goals within family. Let's say there's a goal which says, I want to be a good husband, let's say, and that is red. And so I click on that, and it brings back tasks within that goal, and so on. So it's a drill-down scorecard, helps you track your progress towards your goals. Then there is a community aspect. If my website knows that there's a user here that wants to learn salsa, and I do too, and both of us are users, the website connects us. And so the idea there is to create a community around your goals. Often people don't pursue goals because they don't have people to sort of talk to about goals and sort of have a group that they can go learn salsa with. So that helps create a community. Then there's an natural advertising piece here. If I want to learn salsa, the website will throw all Durham salsa schools with all their details, rates, address, telephone numbers. Thanks.
All right, that brings us to Trace Aid. Give me 1 second to reset here.
It's good to see everybody again. My name is Jared Smith. I'm with the Trace Aid business team, and we're working with a product called the Trace Aid, which is a device designed to help children affected by autism develop their handwriting and fine motor control skills. Now, the beauty of Trace Aid is that it offers the encouragement and support that a parent or teacher would through what we call positive musical reinforcement. Now, musical therapy has been lauded by institutions such as the Autism Research Institute as an effective teaching tool, especially for children affected by autism. The way it works is a checkerboard pattern. A pattern design is printed on a checkerboard sheet, which is then laid over a light bed. A photodiode pen is then used to trace over the selected area, and when done properly, MP3 player within the unit is activated, and the music is played back to the user. Now, it's fully customizable. You can print anything you like on these sheets, and this allows it to be applicable to not only students of autism of all abilities and age levels, but also children without it. Anybody learning to write anything can really use a Trace Aid. This ranges from basic block letters to cursive to foreign characters. If I want to learn Mandarin, you get a tracing workbook on Mandarin characters and work it from there. Now, we, sorry, this is awkward. Basically, oh yeah, right, the autism market. So essentially, we're going after a large and expanding market. 1.5 million Americans is diagnosed with the disorder right now. $35 billion is spent on their care, treatment, and support, and these numbers are only expanding at a rate of 10 to 17% each year. Now, what we're hoping to do is get a $500,000 initial investment that should launch a trace aid as well as the supplemental materials, such as the workbooks that we hope to develop alongside autism professionals in the industry. As an investor, you can expect about 4 times return on your investment by year 8, which point we hope to be bought out by major competitors such as the Leapfrog Group and Intel. Thank you for your time.
So just editorial comment, that was great work on all your parts, and you allowed me to do my trick, which I appreciate. Without further ado, we'll announce the winner of our Consumer Products and Services track for the 2009 Duke Startup Challenge. It's Ento Genetics. Our next track will be the high-tech track. So if all the high-tech tracks could come, all high-tech teams could come down, that'd be great. All right, our first presenter in the high-tech track will be Kaibo Investment.
Hello. Hi.
You're on.
Ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to present a gee-whiz bang awesome gizmo technology to you today because the market that our company serves doesn't need technology. It needs access to the services, to the amenities that are commonplace in countries like the United States. Kaibo Investments Limited is focused on developing expressway service areas for the vast and expanding highway infrastructure throughout China. There are 3 reasons we've decided to develop this company. The first is market demand. The Chinese government is spending $300 billion over the next 4 years improving the highway infrastructure. They have plans to build 25,000 miles of highway over the next 20 years. That's the demand side. In addition, the number of consumers driving automobiles has expanded from 6 million in 2000 to over 20 million today. The next is the market need. Existing service areas are state-run and they're woefully inadequate. They do not provide the level of service that we're accustomed to in the United States. You're lucky if you can get gasoline, let alone restrooms. Pulling over into a service area in China today is like running into rush hour traffic. It's completely inefficient. The last reason we've built this company is because of that man, Kaibo Sun. Kaibo came to the Fuqua School of Business having ran a $500 million highway construction company in China. He has the contacts in the Chinese government, he understands regulation in China, and he has the experience in highway construction and planning to make this company a success. So ladies and gentlemen, we hope for your support, and we look forward to changing the highway structure in China. Thank you.
Our next presenter will be Smart Billiards. You ready? You're on.
Hello. Our product is called Smart Billiards. Smart Billiards fills the unmet need for a player to systematically get better at playing pool while simultaneously playing with friends. Smart Billiards is a software that works with a projector mounted on top of a standard physical pool table to create an interactive interface, much like a Wii. Now, while playing a game of pool, the system will give you a projected path in real time to give you optimal angles and shots so that it will adjust as you adjust your position and your type of shot. In terms of market, Smart Billard fills two major markets. One, casual players going to bars, trying to have fun with friends and just hang out. And also two, the serious pro who is looking for the product to help them hone their skills. In terms of the business side, we are simply asking for a $10,000 initial investment that will help place our product in 5 local pool halls in the course of 1 year. After which we will be selling to distributors who will then sell the product to bars and also place them in bars via a pay-per-play situation, much like that of an arcade machine. So projected from market research, the product will pay for itself in the span of 1 to 2 years. And after 7 years, it will generate an annual profit of $1.6 million. So Smart Billiards is fun, interactive, and an informative system that has a huge market base of 36 million pool players in the United States alone. So please check out our product at smartshots.com. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Ralph Shao. I'm here to tell you about a product that will change the way that you buy apparel online. Think about how you buy clothes. Most people start by going to the retailers. They have to compare brands, colors, styles, and prices across websites that look nothing alike. Next, they may choose to look for coupons on websites such as Fat Wallet. Finally, they may even ask friends what they think about products that they're considering. While this certainly works, it's a waste of time, especially multiplied across the 82 million consumers that will buy apparel online this year. This is the problem that Whimsy solves. Whimsy is a search engine for online apparel. Whimsy allows customers to search across hundreds of brands and compare products in the convenience of a single website. Shoppers can see which clothes are on sale, which retailers have coupons. We also use social networking to allow your friends to see what products you're considering and tell you what they think about it. Our model is online advertising. Whimsy, because users come to Whimsy with the intention of purchasing apparel, users will be willing to click on relevant ads, and furthermore, this means that advertisers will be willing to pay higher prices per click. Currently, we have a functional prototype. Our team consists of 3 undergraduates with programming experience and some knowledge of financials. We've been the winner of the business concept competition at Boston University, as well as the undergraduate track of the elevator pitch competition here. We also have an advisory board that can help us should any issues arise in the future. Whimsy is a perfect acquisition target for any shopping website that does not specialize in apparel. So whether this happens or we become a standalone company, Whimsy is sure to bring you a large return on investment. Thank you.
And without further ado, the winner of the high-tech track for the 2009 Duke Startup Challenge is Whimsy. Congratulations. Next up is the social entrepreneurship track, so if those teams could make their way down. We're forgetting the applause. There we go. The first presenter will be Katchafire.
There are 61 million Americans who volunteered last year, but only 12% volunteered their skills. How many of you have wanted to volunteer and make a difference, only to find yourself collating papers by the copier? Katchafire will solve this problem for professionals by taking your skills, your interests, and your time availability and connecting you with the perfect nonprofit. We'll then connect you through our online platform so that you can rate and review your experiences. For corporations, we have a corporate solution. Recently, major US corporations banded together to raise $1 billion in volunteer equivalent hours. But since then, they've reported that the demand for pro bono has far exceeded their ability to supply it. Katchafire will solve this by plugging corporations into our pipeline of pro bono opportunities and then giving them the tools to track and report their community impact. Our market is huge and virtually untapped. There are 900,000 nonprofits in the United States, but the largest pro bono provider has only served 500 of these since 2001. We will charge a subscription fee to corporations, a match fee to nonprofits, and our service to professionals will be free. To date, we've raised $100,000 that we're using to build our website, and the $25,000 from Duke will help us build our beta test site. We will break even in 2012, and in 5 years, we will achieve a significant social return on investment of $1.5 billion of value generated to the social sector. At this point, we will have made $12 million in profits. I have a great team working with me. Thank you.
Good job. Next presenter will be Evolve.
Hi, I'm Lena, and I'm here representing Team Evolve. As of January 2007, there were 701 sheltered homeless individuals in Durham County. And of these, about 81% were termed transitionally homeless. The number one stated need for this population is a steady source of income that comes from job training and, after that, job placement. And that is exactly what Evolve seeks to do. We are a 6-month culinary job training program that is going to be housed within a nonprofit restaurant that is run by our organization. And this restaurant serves two purposes. First, it allows our apprentices to get the kind of real-life experience that is necessary for them to obtain their next employment. And the second is that this restaurant will be able to generate revenue that funnels back into our organization. We will be working with 2 local community partners who will help us provide our apprentices with real-life work experience as well as personal development. So we want to provide a unique dining experience to our patrons and allow them to have the opportunity to make a social impact every time they dine at Evolve. We're looking for around $300,000 in startup capital to help us reach a financial level that will allow us to sustain our organization without seeking outside donations. We have a great group of people behind us, including Barry Shockett, the co-founder of Cheesecake Factory, Christopher Gergen, who is here running the Enterprising Leadership Initiative at Stanford Institute, and we are motivated to make a lasting impact in this special population sector. Thank you.
Last to present will be Platos Republic. You're on.
Good afternoon. My name is Camille Bay-Isles, the founder of Platos Republic. Imagine for a moment the ideal location for your child, your niece, your nephew during the hours after school. Maybe you think of a sibling, a neighbor, a daycare center, where the sad truth is over 14 million children are at home alone during the hours after school and before their parents get home. You may be thinking, what's the big deal? Well, the after-school hours are the riskiest hours for juveniles. More crime is committed between the hours of 3 and 6 than any other time in a 24-hour period. This is the time when children are likely to experiment with drugs, sex, and alcohol. Ironically, this is also the peak hour for children to become victims of crimes. A child is 140% more likely to be a victim of a violent crime in the hours between 3 and 4 on a school day than a non-school day. So here comes Platos Republic. Platos Republic is a technology-infused, holistic after-school learning program. It's all about developing the whole child, sound mind within sound bodies. Let's start with sound mind. We offer project-based enrichment activities. So during after school, instead of a kid flipping through a textbook, they actually learn art and history by replicating a historic piece of art and learning about the time period being studied. Again, all hands-on activities. Let's talk about sound body. Kids are getting fat, budgets are being cut, they have no interest in exercising. What if you can trick them into exercising? Have them play video games where they're the joystick as opposed to their fingers, like Dance Dance Revolution. Or an exercise or an exerbike where they're actually getting on a stationary bike, and in order to advance in the video game, they have to pedal faster. The after-school market is an $11.8 billion market, half of which is funded by parent-paid tuition, and the other from federal programs. The theory, thank you.
Good job. Now the winner of the Social Entrepreneurship Track in the 2009 Duke Startup Challenge is Katchafire. Congratulations. And now our last but not least track of the afternoon will be the healthcare track. Those teams make their way forward, please. Our first team to present will be Noesis.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're on.
Well, hello, everybody. So our team's aspiration is to bring a golden standard in latent TB testing to both developed and developing world. If left untested, latent TB can turn into an active form of TB and spread around. So current test, tuberculin skin test, is a century-old test. It's very ineffective, and it brings a lot of costs, including the cost, additional costs, including the cost of X-ray follow-ups. It also doesn't work perfectly for HIV population, and also it requires a return visit for a patient. So Noesis designed a new test, a test that measures the level of interferon gamma, which is TB biomarker. And this test is based on a portable device invented here based on semiconductor test invented here at Duke by Professor Avery Brown, she's here. So this test does not require return visit. This test is very sensitive and specific, and that means no X-rays to follow. Also, both device and semiconductor sensor, they both are very simple and inexpensive to manufacture. So what about our competitors? Well, actually, we love our competitors. They're paving the path for adoption of this test. It's a novice test, interferon gamma test. That they also have an inferior technology comparatively to ours. Their technology is more expensive and also logistically complex. Noesis plans to enter the market in 3 years. We believe that if we have a strong position in the US, we will be able to accumulate resources to address needs. Thank you.
Good job. Next to present will be Memetic Pharmaceuticals.
So we all know the devastation of cancer. One of the key issues is the patient quality of life during cancer treatment. So radiation therapy is a very effective treatment for cancer, but the problem is that there are severe side effects caused by normal tissue damage from the radiation. Memetic Pharmaceuticals has developed a patent-protected class of molecules that prevents radiation damage to normal tissues. The market is huge. There are over 800,000 patients that receive radiation therapy as a cancer treatment in the US each year. We have access to all 800,000 of those patients because our drug is given as a preventative, so all patients are eligible. Memetics believes that the best way to enter this large market is through the prostate cancer market. Prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in men, And the side effects are acute and serious. Up to 75% of men get inflammation of the rectum, which can lead to pain and bleeding, both of which can be used as established clinical trial endpoints for our clinical trials. The technology was developed at Duke by leaders in the field, and they are committed to getting this technology to the market. It works by eliminating the free radicals that are produced during radiation. And one of the key inventors, the original inventors, Dr. James Crapo, would serve as the chief scientific officer of Memetic Pharmaceuticals. What we need, our team is ready to develop this technology and the advisory board that we've assembled, but what we need is financing to get through the clinical trials. Once we can prove that this drug is effective in treating the side effects for prostate cancer, the market potential is huge, and we'd be a very attractive target for a pharmaceutical company because of the large potential, not just in prostate cancer, but other indications as well. So what we can do with these class of molecules is improve patient care during cancer treatment, as well as generate a large return for investors.
And last to present will be Vaxaboost.
Good afternoon. My name is Brad Panczak. I'm with Vaxaboost, a company dedicated to making vaccines better. To give you an overview of the science, a vaccine always has something called an antigen. And this primes the body so that when you encounter a disease in the future, your body remembers it. Now, a lot of vaccines, as you all know from your childhood, require multiple booster shots. Our adjuvant technology, which is the other component of some vaccines, will reduce the number of booster shots that are needed for some vaccines. And we're actually also this boosting capability will make vaccines possible for diseases for which there's currently no vaccine at all. Now, our technology is based on patents that have been filed and are pending, and also ones that we're about to file. It's based on research done by a professor at Duke Hospital. Our first two target diseases are anthrax and respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV. Now, anthrax, the only buyer of anthrax vaccine, as you can imagine, is the US government and other NATO governments. The advantage of it is that right now in the tough, difficult market, there's lots of non-dilutive free money available. We're going to tap into that money. We've already demonstrated that we meet the government's standards for the next generation anthrax vaccine. We can do it in 2 doses in rabbits and many other features of the next generation vaccine. Secondly, RSV, the market is huge. Currently, it's dominated by a company called MedImmune. They sell a drug that isn't very good, and they make $1 billion per year. We're going to eat their lunch. We're going to take a lot of this market away from them because our drug will be safer, and it's only going to need 2 shots rather than the 5 that it currently needs now. We're looking for $3 million in investment right now, and what this will give you is in 3 years, $20 million. Thanks a lot.
Now the winner for the healthcare track in the 2009 Duke Startup Challenge is Noesis. Congratulations. Now to the audience selection portion of the show. We obviously asked you all to vote while you were in the trade show for the team that you thought put on the best trade show performance. And I'm pleased to announce that the winner of the best trade show performance, the Duke Startup Challenge 2009, is Platos Republic. Congratulations. Now, without further ado, we're going to transition from virtual big checks to actual big checks. A very smooth transition you'll hardly notice if I hadn't discussed it. The runner-up for the 2009 Duke Startup Challenge is a team by the name of Noesis. Congratulations. Now, without further ado, we're going to give you the grand prize winner for the 2009 Duke Startup Challenge. It's a company by the name of Ento Genetics. Congratulations. Can we get one last round for all our finalists who are elite among their competition? At this point, we'd like to thank you all for participating in the Duke Startup Challenge this year. It's been a fantastic year for us. We need to specifically thank our judges who volunteer their time to be here and make this happen every year. Thank you. We also need to thank our sponsors, again, without whose help we could not do this, so we thank them all very much. I would like to ask all of our student organizers to stand up at this point. If you are a volunteer for the Duke Startup Challenge this year, could you please stand up? These students put in a great deal of work to make this happen. That bruschetta was made by hand, by the way, incidentally. And lastly but not least, of course, we'd like to thank Barry Myers and Howie Ree, who are our faculty and staff advisors, respectively, who really give us great counsel and see us through the year so that we can make this possible and help more great companies come out of Duke. So, thank you. And lastly, it's a great pleasure for me to actually get to introduce next year's Duke Startup Challenge co-chairs so that they'll get to tussle over who has to carry the microphone next year. Shalav Gupta, who's going to be a Fuqua second year next year. Vaxera Cabra, who will be a senior in Trinity next year. And Stephen Powell. Could you guys all come up for just a second so everybody can see your face? Look for these faces on campus next year. This is who you're going to need to talk to. And with that, we thank you all very much for being here, and we hope you'll come back next year and help this be an even better event. Thank you very much for coming.